Picture yourself walking down the street in a neighborhood with a hoodie on, and you have someone following you because you look suspicious, and they just shoot you. This is what happened to 17-year-old Trayvon Martin on February 26th in Sanford, Florida, 2012. He was on his way back from his father's house in a gated community, and he bought a can of Arizona iced tea and a package of Skittles that evening at a local convenience store. And George Zimmerman, who was the neighborhood watch officer for the Sanford, Florida local community, he was following him. He called 911 dispatch and said that he looked suspicious. And the 911 dispatch told him to stay away from Trayvon Martin because if he looks suspicious, then you shouldn't follow him and we'll send someone out. And so then the 911 dispatch asked him if he was following him, and he said, yeah. The 911 dispatch says, okay, we don't need you to do that. George Zimmerman says, okay, and he continues to follow Trayvon Martin, even though the 911 dispatch did not tell him to. Eyewitnesses saw, may have not seen, but heard an outcry from Trayvon Martin because he was being attacked by George Zimmerman, and he was crying, and then George Zimmerman shot him, and people heard a gunshot, and that's what eyewitnesses said. And George Zimmerman said that it was him that was crying, unless I think if he has a baby voice crying, that was not him crying, it was Trayvon Martin. And the family of Trayvon Martin have been very distraught about this whole ordeal. And there's been an outcry from the families, also in rallies, as people all over the globe have come together as one and make sure that we give justice for Trayvon Martin, and they fight for justice for Trayvon Martin. They want justice for Trayvon Martin. That's all they want, and all they wanted was George Zimmerman to be arrested. And as you may have heard, George Zimmerman has been arrested as of yesterday, last night, and he has been charged with second-degree murder. That's just to bring you up to date on the situation. And the family believes the investigation was botched right from the start. The Sanford Police Department did not go through the investigation thoroughly as they may have in the past, or maybe they never do good investigations. And there was no physical evidence at the crime scene that the Sanford police could investigate, as the chief officer, Bill Lee, said. But according to the Sanford Police Department, there was blood on the back of Zimmerman's head. But as the surveillance video came out, as George Zimmerman was being taken to the Sanford Police Department jail, he did not have blood on the back of his head. And Trayvon Martin's family perceives that this unfortunate incident is over race. And they actually quoted at a rally, Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mom, that our son was not committing any crime. Our son is your son. I want you guys to stand up for justice and stand up for what's right. And then the family members that believed the investigation officer was not handled correctly, but the police stood by what they had. And the lead investigator in the case of Trayvon Martin stepped down, and the police chief, Bill Lee, and he was voted from the city commission not to be the lead investigator anymore. 3 out of 5 votes, as there was no confidence in him. And even Triplett, the Sanford mayor, said that he's had confidence in Bill Lee in the past, but just not this time. And as I said before, people all over the world have held rallies, and there was actually one at Lindsay College this past Monday. And a huge rally took place in Sanford that saw admired civil rights activist, not Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. Jesse Jackson also did join in from the NAACP, along with the Trayvon Martin family, to be part of these rallies and fight for justice. And people have been chanting, "We are one, justice for Trayvon," and they've also been wearing hoodies where Trayvon Martin did actually wear a hoodie the night that he was killed as a symbol to honor his memory. In conclusion, the killing of Trayvon Martin has caused quite a buzz in the news, and I have recapped for you all what happened on February 26th when Trayvon Martin was shot by George Zimmerman and killed, and why the leading man, Billy Lee, chief of Sanford police officer, removed himself from the investigation on temporary leave, but he's been later fired, and also the anger of the people. And I'll leave you with the memory, and the case of Trayvon Martin will take months, and some people may be sick and tired of hearing on the news, but it's not going to stop being on the news until something is done, because there's a long road to justice that still needs to be done, even though George Zimmerman has been arrested. And the people are pleading lawmakers to change the way that the law of the standing your ground law was designed, and also Trayvon Martin's parents, along with civil rights leaders, will not stop until justice is rightfully served. And George Zimmerman's lawyer is trying to keep him out of jail as he's not committing crime knowing self-defense. Obviously, that's not happening right now because he's in jail. And his new lawyer, Mark O'Mara, just to bring you guys up to date, says that he hopes that bond is set because he wants him out of jail to become part of the trial. But the judges will decide that if he gets a bond or not.